All right, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a search campaign using Google Ads. It's going to walk you through all the steps, how to set up your keywords, ad groups, and the full campaign, all of your ad extensions. It should cover just about anything. We're not going to cover conversion tracking just because that's unique to everyone, and I might make a separate video on that later. What Google Ads is really good for is bringing in loads amount of traffic, provided you can convert that into actual customers. It's fantastic. If you have issues, like say you don't have a good website, say you don't have access to landing pages or anything like that, I wouldn't suggest using a search campaign. I would suggest using a call only campaign. I have a video on that going into depth. That's for companies that aren't as established, and they're very good for just getting a few leads right off the bat. But if you're looking for something more established and are trying to drive constant sales that are going to be predictable, I would recommend using a search campaign. They're absolutely fantastic for continually generating high quality, reliable leads. So to start it off, we're going to hit create a campaign without a goal or without a goal. And that's because we just don't want to use any of Google's already established um, what they consider to be the best way of getting these leads. There's essentially it's just going to try and get you to use a whole bunch of campaign types that you don't really need. Especially if you don't have a super established, well-indexed site, it doesn't really make much sense. So we're just going to hit search. You don't need any of these right now since we're not going to be showing you how to do this. They can be useful on like other things. If you're doing local, like using maps, that could be useful for let's say service-based businesses or businesses in the skilled trades. But most of these really aren't all that practical for most businesses. If you're doing e-commerce, shopping is awesome. If you're doing a display network, you could do that, but it's a little bit more in depth, and I don't think right here is the proper time to be showing everything just because it is very extensive and you'd have to run remarketing campaigns off of it. It's just not the best bet for everyone. Video campaigns as well, you need a remarketing in place. You need to know exactly what you're doing. Search campaigns, for the most part, very simple compared to everything else, and they work very, very well. Right down here, these are just additional conversion goals you don't need to worry about. Um, we're not going to use a conversion goal. We're going to set one up ourselves, and then we're going to go and continue. We'll do phone calls. I believe their phone number is... I should note that we're using this website just as an example, so Empower Home Comfort. You're welcome for the free advertising. Is this? We'll do Canada. So this is the correct phone number. Search campaign. We'll label this as, I'm trying to think here. We'll do Toronto furnace. So anything related to furnace we'll put in here. So you could essentially geolink furnace services. So essentially all of this would be targeting Toronto, so everything in this campaign, and it would all be targeting furnace services. So under our campaign, we would then have the ad groups, and each ad group could be furnace repair, furnace installation, furnace tune-up, and then under those you would actually have your keywords and your ads, each describing, say under furnace repair, do you need your furnace fixed, and bidding on keywords that are furnace repair near me, stuff like that. So it's all nice and themed, and Google can easily deploy ads to the correct person. So we hit next. All right, so now we're at the budget and bidding. Generally, budget is different for everyone. So you have to go into the actual keyword planner and figure out what your actual keywords are going to be worth, and then multiply that by essentially whatever it takes to get one conversion a day. You do this by figuring out what your conversion rate is. So if it's 20%, you're going to need 5 clicks to actually make one sale or lead. And then we're going to multiply this 5, which is our, 20 is 5 times 5 gives you 100%, which is one lead. We're then going to take that 5 and multiply it by our top of page cost per keyword. So let's say to be on the top of page costs you $20. 20 times 5 then gives you $100, which is how we came up with our daily budget for this campaign. That gives you one conversion every single day, which then gives you enough actual data to go on and continue with optimizing the campaign. Anything less than that, you're going to have a real issue actually having enough data and making good decisions. So again, this is different for everyone. I'll show you later in the actual keyword planner how to go in and do this. Um, we're going to change this to maximize clicks. And then we're going to set click amount. Like I said, we're doing HVAC, so it makes a lot of sense to, I know it quite extensively. So the average keyword top of page cost is right around $20. So I'm going to put 2082. The reason I do that is it's an auction system. The 82 cents, you're going to, just outbid someone, so it is worth putting that. So again, $20 just where we get that number is from the 20% conversion rate, which we normally convert at or higher. And then that times 5 gives you a $100 bid limit. So that's where we get the $20 cost per click, just to let you know. Um, Ad rotation, optimize for this used to be a big deal. Now it's not. Google's gotten really good at optimizing and figuring out which ads perform best. Um, I would just leave it on optimize. It really doesn't matter at this point. Way back when it did, and you would always click do not optimize, rotate ads indefinitely, and I'll choose which ones are best. But Google's gotten pretty good at figuring out which ads perform best. So on to the next. Okay, we hit next. We do not want to be appearing on search network or display networks. You can A/B test this stuff later. Generally, they produce less results, or sorry, a lower ROI. But it's always good to A/B test. You never know. Target locations. We're just going to do Toronto. Okay, so this is very important. So essentially, you want to only target, for most companies, people in um, in your actual target location. You don't want to be targeting people who are searching for the target location. So, say someone is in New York City. I don't want to target people and show ads for people in New York City who are typing in for furnace repair in Toronto. That doesn't make any sense. If, for example, you were targeting or you were running a car rental service, and let's say you were in uh, Las Vegas and people were coming in to rent cars, then it would make sense to use the search interest function. But for most companies, you only want to target people who are located in that location. For exclude, we're going to do exclude presence and interest. Generally, anything Google recommends you generally don't want to go with just because Google itself is in it to make money and as much money as possible. So they generally give you settings that will give them a little bit more. Right now, we're only going to target people in English because our ad copy is only in English. You can make the case that maybe there's French speaking people who speak both French and English in Toronto. Um, yeah, I would struggle to see the actual results from there. Or I can't imagine you being generating great results. So this is the audience segment. Essentially, what Google does is it rounds up a whole bunch of people who look similar and then tries to advertise to those people. So let's do HVAC. Uh, this can be useful. Most of the time it's not. We'll click on all this stuff. See if there's any home inspections. It's good too. We're going to leave it in observation mode. So essentially the difference between targeting and observation mode is if you're in targeting mode, it gets rid of everyone else. And it will bid higher on people who are consider themselves in these actual sectors. Most of the time, we don't see massive differences in results and like better ROI. It's best just to leave this in observation mode. If there is a massive difference, let's say from the general traffic to one of the traffic sources in this, so people coming from this, then of course you could, hit targeting mode, put it in, adjust the bid to a higher bid adjustment, and be successful like that. But most of the time, it doesn't do very much. I leave it in observation mode just to see. Dynamic search ads, these can be absolutely fantastic if everything is set up correctly on your site. Most of the time, I'm going to say 98% of the time, it's not set up correctly on people's sites. So it's just best to avoid these. They can be absolutely super useful, super successful if done properly, but most people's sites aren't indexed correctly. They're not, user friendly when it comes to actually convert, or sorry, I should say high converting landing parts of the website. So it's just not great to use, and especially if you want to maintain full control, which we like doing just because most of the things on people's websites, they aren't always the best for actually ads. And this is where they're going to get all the data to run these dynamic search ads is from the actual website or landing page. Yeah, it's best to just avoid that. More settings, ad schedule, very important. Always put an ad schedule. We recommend Monday to Friday generally for most companies. This is because people on Monday to Friday, they don't generally have all that much time on their hands. Um, we'll do, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. This is just an example. People in the normal weekday, Mondays to Fridays, they don't have much time on their hands, like I was saying. They need a result now. So they make a much better prospect because they need the results now. They're lower in the buyer funnel. They don't have time to look around. Whereas people on weekends, they can go on their web computer. They can look around for the best prices, get a whole bunch of quotes. It doesn't matter to them. But if someone's in an emergency, they need something fixed now, they're going to go with whoever pops up first. And it makes your life a whole much easier for selling those people. And you're going to see better results too. Start and end dates. I always recommend setting an end date, at least for new people or new users of the Google Ad platform. It's just a little insurance policy. If you get locked out or whatever out of the account, it is just a little safety net. So the campaign will end and you won't spend copious amounts of money. Campaign URL options, that really is only applicable for tracking. So if you're running CallRail or another third-party tracking software, it allows them to get more data and the proper keywords associated with like certain calls and stuff like that. You don't really have to worry about that right now. We'll hit next. We'll get all right, so this we're just going to enter in furnace repair. Let's see our keywords. Get our keywords. Okay, they got a whole bunch. That's a lot. Oil furnace, gas repair furnace. We'll do furnace repair, furnace replacement. We're just essentially going to look for everything that has repair in it, and we're going to theme them by repair for this ad group. 20. This is good. No, no. Heating repairs, that would work. Replacement. We'll have replacement as its own ad group. I would put replacement and installation in their own ad group. Sorry, together in an ad group. Linux furnace repair. Yeah, that because Linux is a brand. It's not an actual company. So like a Linux furnace, it's not a Linux the company that does furnace repairs. Although I'm sure they probably offer them. Cost of HP, no. And also another thing to say about keywords. Generally, you want to test out just about everything. But if things are like free, tips, Home Depot, cost of, generally you don't want to bid for those keywords because people are in the researching phase of the buying funnel, and that's not going to give you the best results. You want people searching for, repair needed like right now, repair near me, installation right now. Anything that is bottom of the funnel that shows you that they've made their decision, they're gonna buy. They're not researching anymore. That's good. Mobile home furnace. Get rid of that. Tune up. All right, and we'll put furnace repair. All right, and with these, I would recommend putting phrase match. Essentially, Google changed this not too long ago. They used to have broad match modified and phrase match. They've kind of combined the two. So I would recommend uh, putting quotations around all of these, or parentheses. I can't remember which one's which. And this essentially stops Google from bidding on anything related. So let's say we put in uh, furnace repair. You would automatically assume, oh, like let Google find anything related to furnace repair. Well, furnace repair could be furnace repair tips, free furnace repair, DIY furnace repair, Home Depot furnace repair. That's not stuff you want to bid for. So you want to limit Google's freedom a little bit and put phrase match. So only things that include this phrase per se. So this exact thing or something very similar has to appear in the actual search term someone looks up in order for your ad to pop up. Um, that this is very important. You do not want to skip that. You can also put exact match too, which is brackets around it. So let's say furnace repair near me. There we go. And this will only show up for furnace repair near me. It won't show up for anything else. It may allow for like slight changes, like um, if you put furnaces repair near me, it might still pop up, but it has to be very, very similar or a synonym of the word as Google says. So just this is very, very important to keep all of this in mind. Uh, I don't like using broad match. If you really need keyword ideas, the keyword planner isn't showing it, you can't find it anywhere else, then you could use broad match just for a limited time, as we've sometimes done, just to explore what keywords people are looking for, and then we throttle it back, put it into phrase match or exact match, and go from there. But you don't want to let Google have too much free range. It usually ends badly, and they love to spend money, so you got to limit it somewhat. All right, for this, we're going to go into this. We're going to take the final URL. So this can be either your website, your contact page on the website, a landing page, anywhere you want to put traffic to. This is what you're going to enter into the final URL. Display path, I highly recommend putting in the actual ad group title or whatever you're looking for that specific ad group. We're looking for furnace repair, so I'm going to put this furnace repair near me. Okay, perfect. Um, this again, it's just a little thing that allows people to show that like, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Is it going to make a massive difference? No. Will it make some difference? Yeah. So it's good to put in there. Headlines. Headlines are the fun part. Headlines are, as David Ogilvy says, 80% of your budget or 80% of your advertising spend here, because 80% of people read the headline and they don't read anything else. So it's very, very important to get it right. I always suggest putting the actual keyword in as one, furnace repair, and you can like add on to it, furnace repair near me. That's cool. I also, the name of the company is excellent to put in here. If they have any, um, let's say, brand authority, it can definitely sway a potential buyer. Okay, probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, they can definitely, if they have any, brand authority, it can definitely persuade a potential buyer. Most of the time, it doesn't, because most of the time, most people don't know your company. But it's nice to put in there just for a backup. Furnace repair near me. You also want to get creative. Don't do what everyone else is doing. So I'm gonna look up furnace repair. This is furnace repair services. Service call only 80 bucks. This is really competing on price. I don't recommend ever competing on price because you're only as good as the next lowest price. You've got to show what the problem is. Turn the knife a little bit, make it sting a little bit more. So like let's say no heat in your house. Um, say have text on standby. So these are no heat in your house really resonates with people that are going to be looking for furnace repair. Like the furnace is broken. You could also put is your furnace broken? Furnace not working. Furnace not working. And if you end it with an actual question mark, you'd be surprised how high your click-through rate will go. People actually respond much better to these. Um, right here, there's not much competition, so anyone in Toronto, you might want to be using my suggestions because this competition isn't really good. Uh, they don't even have call to actions, which is very, very sad. Service call only 80 bucks. So like, okay, your service call is 80 bucks. So what? Like you didn't say you could fix my problem, and what should I do if I know you can fix my problem? What is the call to action? You know, for instance, and we should always add several call to action. So they could be call now for a free quote, um, book an appointment today. Um, this is an interesting one. Sorry, Mersey's hating. Limited time offer call now furnace repair. Like why should I call? There's no reason why. We have to give the reason. We have to identify the problem the person has, which is the furnace is broken. We have to then say, okay, we have the solution. So fix your furnace today. Call now for a free quote. Give them a reason, a logical transition into okay, how do we get from my problem to me calling you? This is what you have to look for in the actual ad copy. A lot of people don't do this correctly, and they're going to get very poor click-through rates, which in turn is going to make their ads much more expensive to run. So it's worth taking a few extra minutes, go through all this, write down proper copy, and get creative. Don't make your copy look like everyone else's, because if you do, it's just going to blend in. You're going to get terrible click-through rates. All right, so I went ahead and filled out all of this just to save you guys some time, so you don't actually have to, read all of the or actually watch me do it. Um, this just gives you a nice idea of what you should be actually typing in. Get an instant reply, which is a great call to action. Fix your furnace today. 24/7 emergency furnace repair. Need an HVAC tech, licensed HVAC tech. 30 years of experience with HVAC experience. Furnace issues. These are all great things to put in the ad, and of course with the responsive search ad Google offers, they're going to A/B test all of this. So it's going to come out with a winning ad most likely. Um, I know that for this exact pairing, we were able to achieve right around I think it was like 12% click-through rates. It was like 8 to 12 depending on the actual ad, but using all of these headlines, so they work. And then for the descriptions you're going to go into, I also filled these out. More detail about how you're going to be able to handle their needs. You can talk about like we are available today. This is more of a call to action. Handle all of your heating, cooling, and ventilation needs. Identify potential issues and extend the life of your equipment. That could be a concern with some people who are looking for repair. They don't want to actually replace it. They just want to extend the life of it. We have another one, 24/7 customer service, 30 years of HVAC experience. Call now for a free quote. That's a good one. Call now for all of your HVAC needs, including furnace and boiler repair. This again just goes into more detail about how you're going to help the person and what they should do. Uh, that's pretty good. We covered all that. The ad strength, you should always strive to get this to excellent, good or excellent. Uh, it's not good because I didn't do too much digging into the actual keyword repair, or sorry, not keyword repair, the actual keywords. So preferably Google would like to have it more niche down, so just furnace repair, heating repairs, stuff like that, instead of 24-hour furnace repair, which I think we did put as a headline, but I just didn't see it. But yeah, so good or excellent, that's what you want to strive for. Google generally recommends pretty good stuff when it comes to that. We're going to go to our site links. So essentially, site links are further. I'll just show you what a site link is. These are site links. They allow you to go to different pages on the website regarding certain issues. So maybe for one of these, we could put furnace installation, furnace replacement. Um, a warranty, that might be a big concern for people. You want to figure out what other concerns people have besides repair. You could also type in awards, build up more social proof. That would be excellent. Um, again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because they do matter, but uh, not massive. Call out extensions. Uh, again, this is essentially in here. You're just adding on to actually why people should buy you. So you could type in 24/7 emergency service. Let's put 30-day money back guarantee. Okay, we'll just put 30-day guarantee. What else could we put? 24/7 emergency server, 30-day guarantee. What else? What are these guys doing? It's always good to look at your competition, see what they're doing. I don't know why plumbing is popping up for furnace repair. I guess they could do furnaces as well, but it's kind of weird. Um, instant um, reply. Actually, let's put get a free quote now. Okay. Free quote. Of course, you don't want to repeat yourself, but for the sake of time, I'm just going through to show you exactly. Um, I'm just going through to show you exactly what you should be putting here. I would definitely change it up a little bit. Don't repeat yourself all too much because there's, areas that you could do. Furnace repair service. A lot of these these companies are not doing a good job. Let's do yeah, and you don't really want to compete on price. You want to compete on service and quality of work. Let's do, licensed techs. Yeah, let's do that. Like licensed techs, 30 plus years. Just shows you that you had enough experience. You can go down, add more if you'd like. Call extensions, very, very important to have. This allows people, instead of going to your actual website, they can just call from here, which is fantastic for people in a rush. Um, we'll do this. Do we have any more extensions? App extensions are if you're actually looking to, download an app, not relevant to us. Most of these aren't really. You can add pricing. You could do a lead form extension. Um, Most of the time, you don't really need to, especially if you're running to a landing page. But they are nice options to have. Structured snippet extensions. You can put in more, and they're very similar to call it extensions. However, they work for certain things. So like style service catalog models. So say you were selling like a specific type of car or certain furnaces. You could put them all in here, and then that would show in your actual ad um, the various options you offer. So it's nice to have. Generally, you want to fill out as much information as you can. That way, Google can make your ad as big as possible compared to everyone else's. So the more the better, generally. We'll do next. Yeah, I get that. It's just saying that if we could add more call out extensions, you get more clicks. Yep, I get that. Um, for the sake of time, we're ignoring that. We just go over all of this. That's good. Okay, so now we're in the ad group section, and we can see our one campaign is successfully running, which is good. We're going to pause it. Then we're going to hit switch view to come back to the normal view. Some people can work out of the normal other view. I hate that other view. We're going to go down. We're going to see all of our campaigns. So as you can see, we have our original smart campaign. We have our search campaign here, and we're going to click onto the search campaign. This will bring us into the actual ad group. So I will rename this one Furnace Repair. So all of our ads, everything inside that ad group, all the keywords, that's all going to be related to furnace repair. All right, so I kind of forgot to put this into the video. I'm going to show you how to do the actual keyword planner and how to use it. I also make reference to the smart campaign in this account. I set it up earlier just to walk through a basic thing, but it was kind of annoying, so I just took it out and showed you how to make a proper actual search campaign, which is the one you want because it's realistically the most useful one for most companies. We're going to go to keyword planner. All right, so I'm going to put in furnace repair to show you an example of the actual keyword planner in action. We're going to geo-target this to Toronto, just because we're in Toronto. Or I should say this company is in Toronto. But I'm going to go down, get results, furnace repair. So it gives you a list of all of the potential keywords related to furnace repair. There's 858 of them. You can change this to 500 if you want. And then it also gives you the top of page and top of page low range and top of page bid sorry, top of page bid high range. And this is what you're going to use to determine what your daily ad spend is. So whatever this is, we find the maximum cost per click through this. So normally this isn't as high just because it's in Toronto, very populated city. If you're on more rural or just you include other cities, as most businesses, they don't just service one city, they service multiple cities. This would go down to right around $20 or so, what I was talking about earlier. Um, and from there, I would say it's like 23, 43. I would probably put like 24, 52 or something like that, just slightly above top of page bid range, and then see how that goes over time. And then, of course, to find your daily ad spend, you would then multiply like $24, or let's just say $25 for sake of convenience, by your conversion rate, whatever it takes. So, say you have 20% conversion rate, and you need to times that by 5 to get 100% for one lead per day. You're going to take the 25 times 5, it gives you $125 a day bid limit, or sorry, daily budget, and that's how you come up with everything. And this also shows you the average monthly searches, as well as the competition. Don't take the competition too seriously. Google's all right with generating results like that. It's more accurate than other services like SEMrush and SpyFu, but it's up in the air. It's not a set in stone thing. But then I would run through here, get a list of keyword ideas. You can paste this in any type of Excel or WordPress, or sorry, Word file, and then go from there, generate yourself a list of keywords, which you can then implement into your ad group. This is the best way to do it, um, uh, and this is how we do it. I'll do one more um, ad group just for showing you all this, and so you can get a better example as well. Okay, so we're gonna make this one furnace installation. We'll just do parentheses furnace installation. Um, Actually, you know what? Let's just copy this, push it in here. Get keywords. Probably best just because I don't really want to look through those. New furnace installation. Yeah. New furnace installation. Cool. Propane furnace installation. Mobile home. No. In all honesty, that's probably good up to there. And then get rid of the Home Depot one. So one of the tools I love to use is AdWords Wrapper. Um, it allows you to simply copy, paste, wrap keywords into any type of phrase, exact or broad match modified when it used to be applicable, easily. And then you can just copy that and paste it back in here, and now it's all phrase match, which is absolutely fantastic for time purposes, especially if you have an extensive list of keywords. We'll hit save and continue. We'll create our ad. So again, I would change this to the actual landing page, but for the sake of time and example, we're just going to keep it like that. Installation. Furnace. And most of these ads, by the way, you can easily just change to furnace installation. Like you don't got to reinvent the wheel. If something is working, change it slightly to coordinate with that ad group, but you don't got to change the whole thing. Like no heat in your house, that still applies. We have text on standby. That's still a good call out. Furnace not working. Yep. Call for all of these call to actions. Call now for a free quote. Book an appointment today. All good. Furnace repair needs to go. Furnace repair installation. I should also say that if you can include the name of the title, or sorry, name of the city in your ad, that's fantastic because it makes it more specific to your customer. And the more specific we can get, the better. Furnace issues, 24/7, that can go installation. Uh, let's do that. 24/7. Cool. Good. 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 Installation. And I would recommend capitalizing all of these, by the way. It just looks nicer, and you're allowed to do it, so I would take full advantage of that, and you're not going to get docked by Google. Cool. Again, make sure this is actual relating to the keywords for the sake of time and convenience. I'm not going to narrow everything down to be perfect. Site links, again, these should all be the same, unless you wanted to send it to a certain, like, let's say, department or something. I would switch the call number, or sorry, the phone number to something else. Site links extensions, again, it's up to you where you want to send traffic that doesn't want to click on this. Use your best judgment. We'll create our ad. Cool, so now we have two ad groups. This is, congratulations on getting this far. Thinking what else we could do. Oh, what I'm not going to cover in this video is actual conversion tracking. So essentially, for every campaign, you actually need to set up conversion tracking, which is a little line of code on your main page and where you're sending traffic, and then one on your thank you page or your sign up page, like at the end of it. And this allows Google to take in data to see how many views, how many conversions you're getting, and actively take in that information into your account. And then you can see which ads are running, which ones aren't. For the sake of time, I'm not going to get into that just because for every website it is different. For every landing page builder, it's different. And it's relatively easy to look up. It's a, not very long thing of code, and it doesn't take a genius to do it. Just for the sake of time. I might do a video on that, so at least for landing pages, because that's what we normally use. This is just an example. As you could see earlier, the Smart campaign was already running. Generally, you can have it done. It doesn't generally take 1 to 2 days to actually review. You can get it running pretty early, especially if you get in contact with Google as well. There's other ways around it that you can even shut it down even further. What they're essentially looking for here is to make sure your ads don't contain anything inappropriate or not related to the landing page or what you're trying to actually attract traffic to. So don't include, drugs, pornography, stuff like that. They're not going to advertise for. So that's why ads would get taken down. Also, anything if it's written improperly, they'll take that down. All right, so now you have essentially your entire campaign set up. Your ad groups are set up. We can see that we have our Smart campaign, we have our search campaign. I generally hate Smart campaigns just because they don't give you enough control. They're very good in certain instances, but in most are not great. Ad extensions, sorry, these are the actual ads. The extensions themselves, you can go in, you can see whether or not they're performing well. This is just to go over everything. Landing pages, once you get traffic, you'll start seeing actually all the sites and landing pages you're sending traffic to, and they'll go over how friendly they are for mobile optimization, the clicks and impressions, the click-through rate, the average cost per click, the full cost. You also would want your actual conversions in this column, which let's see, conversions, we'll add that. Cost per conversion, conversion rate. These are all excellent things to add into your column just to see how each landing page is converting. And then your actual keywords. So these are, you'd want to click on their individual ad group. And that way you can see the keywords inside that ad group. If you just do this, you're just going to get a whole long list of every single keyword inside your ad group. So it's not very practical. So you'll see in here what ones are converting, which ones aren't. If after about 10 clicks you don't see any positive results and you've added negative keywords, which are in here, I'll show you in a second, and you've gone through search terms, you can see that they're actually bidding on terms relevant to this keyword, and you still don't see any positive results. Your conversion rate low, the cost per click is high. Pause that actual keyword. If it's very difficult to make a loser a winner. It's best just to double down on the winners, find the keywords that are working best, and then go from there. Don't try to make a something that is absolutely not going to work into something that is. It's not a good use of your time. This is the negative keyword list. We don't have anything in it right now. I'm just going to add one just to, we'll put free, we'll put tips, um, Home Depot, which is just a normal, you know, home hardware like store around here if you're not familiar with it. Um, and then we hit save. These keywords now in this specific ad group, so you'd actually have to, what you can do for negative keywords, you can just go to the full ad group level and then add them. You can add either to the ad group or the campaign. I just added it to the ad group level. I'd recommend the campaign level as that would just cover everything. But to note, your key, anything, so if you have furnace repair free, it's no longer going to pop up. Home Depot, you're not going to pop up. Tips, you're not going to pop up. So this is all really good to narrow down what keywords you're actually bidding for and be successful in a campaign. Search terms will be the actual search terms people are looking for. So when they type in furnace repair, your keyword might pop up furnace repair, but if they put furnace repair Toronto, Ontario, you don't have a keyword that says that. So it'll come up under search terms and show you exactly what people are searching for. This is great for coming up with new keywords to actually bid on and negative keywords for keywords to exclude. So very, very important to be going on in week 1, week 2, and seeing which keywords are useful, which ones aren't, and figuring out which ones your winners and losers. Very, very important to do. Auction Insights, it gives you an overview of essentially what you look like compared to the competition. Locations, this just represents the overall locations. Excluded, you can go in and exclude things you don't want to show for. You don't really have to, provided you set up the settings correctly, like I showed you. Ad schedule, we already did. We're just going to do Monday to Friday. This is just a display of how it runs. Devices is very important. So say we are bidding on, say we're trying to generate as many mobile calls as possible. I often turn bid adjustments all the way down, will decrease 100% because most people on the computer, they're not going to call you. And now there's a lot of people who argue with me that'll say like, well, the people can still call via, they'll just pick up their phone and dial the phone number or dial through the actual phone number on the website. Yeah, it's possible, but it's way more likely the person on the mobile phone is just going to click it. And if you have enough traffic, why wouldn't you just do mobile phones? They're going to significantly beat desktop rates. So that's what I recommend. And just do that if, of course, you're only going for mobile phone calls or phone call leads. So this is just an overview of the actual campaign setup. We have a smart campaign in here, which again, I don't recommend using. Our search campaign. If you were going to build out a campaign, I would recommend building out, several ad groups into it. More than this, don't just put like 2, put like, 2 to 5 is manageable. And then if you need more, so let's say we're going to do HVAC services Toronto, that just cover the keyword HVAC, then I would build another campaign. And then if you're doing it, like going to do cooling, so just air conditionings, I would probably build another campaign out and then build in those ad groups below it. And if you're doing all that, you have landing pages set up, you're going to run a successful campaign and you're using the keyword planner. You're going to be very, very successful and happy with your results. If you like this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, stay tuned for the next video, and thank you all and have a great day.